Hello everyone, in today's video we are going to be practicing what we learned yesterday about perimeter and area. Now you can pause the video and try to solve these on your own and come back to see if you got them correctly using what you learned yesterday in yesterday's video. So please pause the video and try and solve them on your own. Now, okay, so now let's see what you got. First exercise says, what is the area of the three rectangles above altogether? Sorry. Now there is a really hard way to do this, and there is a really easy way to do this. A really hard way would be to find each separate rectangle, the area of it, and then add them all together. The easy way is to realize that, oh, this is one huge rectangle, and I can just find that this entire side, since this part is 5 and this part is 3, this entire side is 8, and since this side is 10 and this side is 4, this entire side altogether is 14. So I could just do 8 times 14 and find the area. 8 times 14 would give me 112. So that's the first exercise gone. Next exercise says a square has an area of 81. What is its perimeter? Okay, well, what do we know about the area of a square? We know that we find it by multiplying one side against another side. So let's say one side is x. What's the other side going to be? Well, since it's a square, it's also going to be x. And this is going to give me 81. Well, what number do I multiply with itself and get 81? The answer is 9. I multiply 9 by itself and get 81. So here, by knowing the length of one side, I can find its perimeter. The perimeter is going to be equal to, well, basically 4 times that side that we just talked about. So 4 times 9, which makes 36. Next up, the perimeter of a rectangle is 72. If one side is 15, what is the area of the rectangle? Let's erase this. Okay, so we have the perimeter of a rectangle is 72. We know one side is 15, and we're looking for the other side. So let's call the other side x. That's the unknown. What do we know about this? We know that two 15s, because remember, since it's a rectangle, if one side is 15, that means there's another side that's also 15, plus 2 times x, our unknown other side, have to make 72, which is the perimeter. That's the formula for the perimeter of a rectangle. So we're going to have 30 plus 2x needs to be equal to 72. Which means if I subtract from both sides, if I subtract 30 from both sides, what I'm going to have is that 2x needs to be equal to 72. And if I divide both sides by 2 now, what I'm going to have is that x is, oh wait, sorry, I didn't subtract 30 from here. This will be 42. And now if I divide both sides by 2, I'm going to get 21. So each side is 21. But don't forget, it didn't ask what the other side was. It asked what the area was. To find the area, I need to multiply one side, one long side, against another side. So 21 times 15. And 21 times 15 is going to give me 315. If you do that multiplication, that's what you're going to find. So my answer here is going to be 315. Great. Next up, what is the area of the trapezoid shown above? Okay, great. Now, we have a problem here. We haven't heard about trapezoids before. But what you need to realize is that what I have here, instead of this weird shape, is basically a rectangle with two triangles added on, right? Okay, now what do I know? I know that this side right here is 4, and that the rest of this side is 12. But if we want to think about it like this, then this isn't really useful right now because I don't know the length of this side. Unless you take into account that given that this is a rectangle right here, if this side is 8, then this side of it is also 8, which means that this side of the rectangle plus whatever this is need to make 12. Well, 8 plus what makes 12? 8 plus 4 makes 12. So this side is definitely 4. And also, since this is a rectangle, since this side is 5, and this side is also going to be 5. Now, what we can do is we can find the area of the rectangle and then add it to the area of these two triangles. But how will I find the area of these two triangles? We're going to use the formula that we used yesterday to find the area of right triangles. So let's start with a rectangle. Let's start with the easy stuff, right? The rectangle, its area is going to be 5 times 8, so 40. And then this right triangle here, to find it, we're going to have to multiply the two smallest sides, so 4 and 5. I don't even know the longest side, so I don't have to worry about that. I'm going to have to multiply 4 by 5, and then whatever I find, I need to divide it by 2. 4 by 5 makes 20, divided by 2 makes 10. Okay, but if you look closely, what you'll see is that this triangle on this side has the exact same size as this triangle. So whatever size this triangle is, this one is going to be the same. So let's call this one right triangle 1, and the other one we're going to call right triangle 2. Well, they're going to be the same. We just saw. If you want to do 4 times 5 divided by 2 again, you can. You can also just say that it's going to be 10 because it has the exact same dimensions as this triangle. And now to find the whole thing, what we're going to do is we're going to add all of these together. So 40 and 10 and 10. Well, 40 and 10 and 10 makes 60. So the entire area of the trapezoid is going to be 60. Next up, we want to find the perimeter and the area of this circle. The perimeter, if you remember from yesterday, is going to be 2 times 3.14 times the radius, which in this case is 10. So I am going to have to do this multiplication. Now, I told you yesterday that you can do it in whatever order you want. So yesterday we said that you could do 2 times the radius first, if that suits you. In this specific case, you can actually do 2 times 3.14 first and then multiply by 10. Why? Because 10 is a number that is just going to move the decimal point to the right or to the left. Well, to the right since we're multiplying. And we don't have to write it vertically. So you could either do this multiplication first, or you could do this multiplication first. It's pretty easy, doesn't really matter. Doing 2 times 20 first would actually complicate things a little bit, so you could avoid that. And just do 2 times 3.14 would give me 6.28. times 10, and this would give me 62.8. Next up, to find the area, we would do 3.14, so pi times the radius, and then times the radius again. And here it doesn't really matter the order in which you do them. You can do them in whichever order you want. So let's just say 3.14 times 10. It's going to give me 31.4. Times 10, and this is going to give me 314. So that's the perimeter, and that's the area of this circle. That'll be all for today. I will see you guys again on Friday when we can correct your worksheets together. Have a good day.